Oh, here we go. Welcome to the Carla Marie Anthony Show on Twitch. My name is Anthony.
I'm Carla Marie. I don't hear you in my headphones.
Yeah, I don't know. You know what? Hold on one second. Let me test one thing out.
Because that means we're not going to hear Jake.
Oh, it does mean we're not going to hear Jake, which...
Kate Parham said we need a CM&A daycare. If someone else runs it besides us, we can call it the CM&A daycare.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Yeah, that's weird.
Well, this is...
I can test something out real quick. Hold on. Let's see if I go here and just press a button. Yeah, that's weird. I'll fix this. Carla Marie, why don't you tell everyone what's going on today?
Okay, so we're going to talk to our friend Jake the producer, a.k.a. Baby Jake. He lives in Napa, California, and he invited strangers over to his apartment for a dinner party. He filmed this whole video about it. You can go to his Instagram. It's Jake the producer to see what we're talking about if you want to do that. So we'll have him on in a bit once we get this fixed. Anthony has something on the list about Gen Z on Cap Hill, assuming that's Twitter?
That was from yesterday.
Oh.
And I'm trying to change the date. It still says February 7th here, even though I changed that before.
Wait, from yesterday, like Twitter?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, well, those are some of the things we're going to talk about today. I am going to the Friends Experience this afternoon.
Oh, yeah.
Friends The Experience. It's here in Seattle. My friend Tatum and I are going. She's a huge Friends fan. We're going with her 1-year-old baby, which is hilarious to me because the show came out in 96 and that kid was negative years old. So
Well, yeah, if he's 1 year old. Did you say 1 year or you're a year old?
I don't know what I said. It's 1 year old. She's a 1-year-old.
Yeah, but like,
I don't know what I said.
If she was 2, 3, or 4, you would say she's 2 years old, right?
I'm saying I don't know what I said.
All I'm saying is it's weird. It sounds weird to say he's 1 year old.
Well, that's why you say she's a 1-year-old.
Yeah, but it's the only one that works with.
Correct.
Because even months, you can still go, oh,
No, she's a 40-year-old.
No, she's 8 months old.
But it also works with, I just gave you another age. She's a 25-year-old.
It's weird. Anyway, that is the list. I updated that.
I heard a sound.
Yeah, I don't.
Wait, but I don't. Hello? Hi, do I hear myself in my headphones? I think so now. Make more sounds. Hit something. Happy birthday.
That's working.
Okay. You don't hear me? Wait, I don't hear you. Okay, I can talk about my dream.
No, please don't. Please, for the love of God.
It was sad.
This is one of the things that Carla Marie and I disagree about. Is she will wake up and have to tell someone her dream.
Well,
that
in
ends
my
up
dream,
being me. Hold on, don't tell me yet. The problem with dreams is normally the crazier the dream, like the less based in reality that it is,
yeah,
the less I want to hear it. Not because I don't want to hear crazy stories, but it's like, oh, thank you for telling me that completely made up thing that has no basis in reality. Oh my God, I had this dream where I owned 87 cats.
Okay, I do.
Great story.
I will say I've had those kind of dreams since I was little. And this week I did have a dream where I had 150 cats that I need to save.
Great.
And I also had a dream that I had to save 2 puppies last night. But that's not even the dream I wanted to talk about.
By the way, we are in hype train level 5. We have 40% of the way to get there, and we have just under 3 minutes to make that happen.
Okay. So in my dream last night,
yes,
Anthony and I were just friends. But I was in love with you and you were about to marry someone else.
Okay.
And I was so sad. Like, so sad. And you were also dying.
Were you not sad about that?
No, you were, like, visibly, like, ill, like, on your deathbed.
Okay.
And I was, like, your future new wife was, like, trying to do all these things to help you. And I was like, I know what he actually needs, and that's not it. And it was, like, very much like my best friend's wedding.
What did I need?
I think it was water. But it was so sad. You were just marrying this other broad. But she was so nice. But I was like, it ain't you. It ain't you, bitch. It's me.
I wonder how many other women feel that way today.
I don't get it. They
About
had
you.
the same dream?
Yeah.
Oh.
Let's see. Hail Gene, thank you very much. It's Meg, not Megan. Thank you for those 300 bits combined between the two of you. 200 from Hail Gene, 100 from Meg. What?
I think I hear you. Do
Check.
Can I hear your headphones?
Oh, here, hold on.
Wait, are our headphones on?
Yeah. It should be, but it's not coming through.
Well, I can do this test.
You gonna call us?
This is nonsense. Like, you got everything else to work, and now this stops? Come on. Yes, I'm calling.
Yeah, it's not coming through.
Come on.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
So now we know that works.
All right. So we're good to go.
Whew.
I don't know what happened differently. I changed nothing. And this is one of the things you'll realize the shot might look a little different today. I don't know if it's better or worse, but it's definitely a little different. And you'll notice that if you compare it to Tuesday's show, you can actually see the outlines a little bit of the CMA, the neon CMA behind us. The one problem that I have with our setup is the only camera that really works is this GoPro that we use. Mm-hmm. And the GoPro does a very good job in terms of the picture quality and stuff like that. But because we're sitting next to each other and we're pretty close to this camera, we need a pretty wide angle lens that doesn't distort the video. Because of that, we can only use this GoPro.
There's like a wide angle lens that we can use, but it's like thousands of dollars.
Even that, I really don't think we could use it. That goes on like an actual camera that ends up, it'll stick out from the screen like this much. It'll be here, basically. And we don't have, like, everyone says it when they walk in here. This is not a large space. It looks like a large space.
Wait, I have an idea we never thought of. Because you said we sit next to each other.
Yeah.
What if I sit in front of you, and because you're taller, you sit behind me? We can raise the chair, stadium seating.
Like we're in a bobsled?
And whoever's talking, we just do opposite sides.
It's going to look like a really bad music video.
We should test it.
Okay, well, find a stadium seating.
No, just do it. We did that in college. We stole a couch from the common area of the dorm because we had like apartment dorms, and we took two like small coffee tables and put them under one of the couches. So we had stadium seating couches.
My friends did that too, but they like actually built with cinder block and plywood. They built another level for a couch. So they had couches back to back. And it was actually pretty stable.
Ours was smarter. We don't have to build anything.
Well, no, they found like cinder blocks and 2x4s basically. Oh. It's not like they hammer and nail built a stadium. But what I was going to say was with this camera setup, it looks decent. It works for what we need it to work for. But adjusting things, I'm not exaggerating, takes hours.
I hear drills going on in here.
Every adjustment. Well, the drill is only to put the camera in, and it's because I like using this thing. Where'd it go? Oh, it's over here. This was a white elephant gift this year. It's not even that powerful, but it does make twisting the little GoPro thing easier because there is a screw in there.
All right, so do we hit the hype train?
Oh, that's a great question. Oh. Did we hit
like it?
Our chat keeps freezing, so let us know if we hit the hype train. Oh yeah,
we did.
We're
so
at level 6.
We'll take a shot and then we'll have Baby J call.
That sounds good. So Carla Marie.
Okay, I just want to be able to see that.
See what?
The chat.
Oh, it's there. While Carla Marie is getting that shot set up, I will remind you on Monday here in Seattle at the Columbia Tower, Carla Marie has a Galentine's Day event.
Yes.
And who are you working with that?
It's Seattle Cocktail Club, but the alcohol that'll be featured is Chambord. Very fancy.
Which I don't even really know what Chambord is.
It's very good, and they're going to be like super cute cocktails. So bring your BFF. My BFF Hannah is coming, and we're gonna be like doing cute Galentine's letters. I'm probably gonna wear a cute little cocktail dress, but you don't have to dress up.
Okay.
I'll be posting outfit options this weekend. I'll be looking for help. Tickets are at SeattleCocktailClub.com.
So that is on Monday of this coming week, Monday the 13th. Then we have Valentine's Day. Then Friday the 15th, I'm also hosting an event with the Seattle Cocktail Club.
Not Friday.
Wednesday the 15th, I am also hosting an event Wednesday the 15th with Seattle Cocktail Club, and that is with Woodford Reserve Double Oaked Bourbon. And it's going to be this whole like whiskey tasting information seminar type deal.
It'll be cool.
Here in Fremont. So if you would like to come to either or both of those events, they're both all gender, all people, all relationship status events.
No pets. Not at the Columbia Tower. I bet
I didn't
at
say
yours.
pets.
I was just saying.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so today's drink is
Yeah, dogs are basically allowed everywhere in Fremont.
Jolly Rancher, and it's got Tito's, vodka, and blue curacao.
And all the shots that we take are, generally speaking, I should say, from our friends at Seattle Cocktail Club. And you can find the recipe for it, exactly how many parts blue curacao, how many parts vodka, SeattleCocktailClub.com. What are you laughing at?
Scotty said, brown liquor means I'm not responsible for what comes out of my mouth. My personal disclaimer.
Shane Board's not a brown liquor, is it?
No, yours is.
So that's just my event. It's a blackberry liqueur.
Yeah, I told you that it's like what's used in peanut butter and jelly drinks
right.
often.
Oh, so I have had it. Thank you to everyone who supported the stream today. Obviously, thank you to our friends at Seattle Cocktail
Hold
Club.
on.
What?
I'm just going to top this off.
Why are you doing that?
Because there's a little extra, and it wasn't that high, and we didn't use one on Monday.
Okay. 23 new subs. Thank you very much, everybody.
Whoa.
I know most of those are gifted subs, so thank you. Cheers to you, Carla Marie.
How many cat hairs do you think we consume daily?
All of them. Cheers to you. Cheers to Seattle Cocktail Club, and cheers to everyone who supported the stream.
Hold on.
Woo. You're good. All right? You want to hear something gross?
Now I'm going to be sticky.
Yeah, well, you're going to have to shower at some point. So
I just did. My hair's wet.
that just reminded me with Carla Marie kind of spilling on herself.
Kind of.
This morning I woke up, and you could probably hear it. I've been pretty congested.
There he is. He waited. Oh, what a good little Jake, the producer. He waited right till the shot.
Hello.
Baby Jake.
Baby Jake, you're going to have... Hello.
I hate you. Can you hear us? Okay. He turned the computer, almost said radio, turned Twitch down in the background. Look at you being a little producer calling right after the shot.
I mean, it's 8:20 for us as well, and we're still taking the
pause.
shot.
They can't hear Jake.
All right, hold.
Hold, Jake. Don't say anything
what are
bad.
you pressing here?
I didn't press anything. F off. I didn't touch the button.
All right, let's, Jake, count to 5 for me.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
All right, we just want to check to make sure everyone can hear you. And if that's the case, all right, we can hear Jake. Perfect. So Baby Jake is on the phone, also known as Jake the producer, also just known as
BJ.
Jake. I don't think no one calls you BJ.
I do.
So is Carla Marie.
Okay. So Jake is in Napa, right?
Yes.
So you said you wish you were here taking shots with us. I think you should move your whole life to Seattle, do your job from here, because it's actually a quick flight to Napa. So if you ever need to go back down there, you can always just do that.
Yeah, I'll just take my jet. It'll be easy.
Yeah. You've got a big company. They'll buy you a jet.
They'll buy me a jet. Let me ask my boss.
If you're worth it, if you want to make sure your company has value in you and values you as a person, they'll buy you a jet. So ask them.
Okay.
That is such good life advice.
All right, report
Listen,
back.
the Yankees wanted Alex Rodriguez to play for the Yankees, right? Back in the day. They said, hey, you can use the New York Yankees jet whenever you want. A lot of baseball players can do that with their team jet.
Seems wasteful.
Yeah.
Seems wasteful.
All the top baseball players, and Lincoln Riley, he's the coach at USC. He can use the University of Southern California's jet whenever he wants.
Okay.
Wow.
So if your company loves you, they'll give you a jet. That's the moral of the story.
Now let's get to why Jake is here today.
Yes.
Jake, let's talk about the social experiment you did on social media, I guess is the best way to explain it. Explain what it was, and then we're going to backtrack and talk about why you did this.
I basically went to downtown Napa and spent 3 hours inviting random strangers into my home for a dinner party the same night. So we went downtown around noon, stayed downtown until about 3 p.m., and then the dinner party was at 7 p.m. the same day.
Okay, and the video you posted is you asking people to come to the dinner, and then the video has people actually at your apartment.
Yeah,
Well-
so that was the craziest thing is people actually showed up.
So okay, let's go through all the steps. So you decide for whatever reason that you're going to throw this dinner party and invite a bunch of strangers. How many people did you ask on the street?
Oh, man. So we had actual invitations. Like I printed out invitations to make it a little bit more legit, and we probably handed out 25 invitations.
Okay.
Okay.
Out of the 25, how many people like just took the invitation and walked away, and how many people did you actually speak to?
See, that was the interesting thing is a lot of people actually stopped to listen to me, and I think it was because I had such a intriguing first line. I was like, "Can I pitch you something crazy?"
Okay.
And most people were like, "Yes."
And you were in a tux.
I had
The tux.
one woman.
The tux, I think, was
the tux also.
yeah.
Yeah, because if you were in like gray sweatpants and a tank top, I don't think people would have accepted your proposal as much.
Well, the craziest thing was out of the 25 people that I talked to, there was only one woman who just like kind of kept walking and pretended like she didn't hear me.
Oh wow.
So then why'd you keep talking to her?
But this would have been a lot different if I was doing this in a different town. I think the fact that I was doing it in Napa, which is such a touristy town, made a big difference.
Okay. All right, so you ask 25 people, you have actual conversations with almost all of them except for the woman that walked away.
A lot of questions in the chat are, did the invitation have your address on it?
No, so that was a big concern of my friends. They're like, "Are you just giving your address to all these random people?" So what I did is I put the phone number that used to be the phone number for the podcast that Ricky and I co-hosted, 20-somethings Doing Nothing. I put that phone number on the invitation, and I said, RSVP to this number. So they had to text my Google Voice number to RSVP, and then when they would RSVP, I would give them the address.
I mean, that is pretty smart.
Okay. So how many people RSVP'd yes by texting?
We probably had, so the invitation also said you could bring a +1. So I think I got probably 7 yeses. But then.
So you mean 7 as in, and then that could have possibly gone to 14.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. How many showed up?
We had 12 people total.
But did you have actual friends come that weren't strangers?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, so what was the ratio then of
Or do
strangers to people
or do
you
you
knew?
not want to reveal this?
No. It was a majority strangers. So that was actually pretty cool. And then some of the people that I invited that I knew brought people that I didn't know.
Oh,
that's cool.
Because the rule was you couldn't come to this party if you either weren't a stranger or didn't have a stranger with you.
Stranger danger party. Okay. So
Right.
why, Jake, why were
Yeah.
you like, not only do I want to invite strangers to my house, let's film a video about it and let me wear a tux? Like what, where did all of this come from?
So there's this YouTube channel that I have been watching for years and years called Yes Theory, where their whole thing is seek discomfort. And they just do things that make them very uncomfortable or put them outside of their comfort zone. And I hate doing things that make me uncomfortable. I hate going up to women at bars and hitting on them and just like approaching random humans. So this was more of an experiment for me to just see what would happen. And so anyway, the Yes Theory, though, what they did is they did something similar like this. But it was just kind of like a casual thing. And I was like, all right, well, let me take it up a notch and turn it into something really cool.
So I know that you wore a tux in the video that you posted. And by the way, if people have not seen the video, tell everyone your Instagram so they can go check it out. Or would you rather TikTok? Whatever you want to do.
Oh, it's only on Instagram,
Okay.
at Jake the Producer.
Yo, put that shit on TikTok.
I know I should. I don't really use TikTok. It's too many apps.
I know. But
It
it'll
is
blow
too
up.
many apps. So TikTok, Jake the Producer, go check out the video.
Instagram.
Was there a dress code for your guests? Because you were inviting them in a tux. So if
Yeah.
someone invites me to a party and they're wearing a tux, I'm going to assume that I
Facts.
need at least a suit.
Yeah, so the majority of the people were like, wait, is that what you're wearing?
Yeah.
And I was like, no, it's very casual.
Okay. So
But-
it was still a casual dress code.
Jake, tell everyone what you wore
Yes.
to the actual dinner party.
Oh, I wore what I'm wearing right now, which is my light blue You Look Great crew neck sweatshirt.
Yep, he did.
So that means we're all wearing You Look Great gear.
Oh, our friends at Gilly Wagon want to know
Oh.
how much corn was served.
How much corn?
Was
There
there- was
no
th-
corn? Oddly,
There wasn't even one corn dish?
no. Well, that was the most awkward thing. Is I realized halfway through the day that I was inviting people to a dinner party, but
Okay.
they weren't actually coming to a dinner party. Because at a dinner party, you sit down
Yeah.
and are
Oh, yeah.
like, served a meal, And then I realized, wait, we're just buying frozen pizzas from the grocery store. This is not a dinner party.
It
Well,
counts.
they could make the pizza dinner. I mean, as long as you're eating dinner, any party is a dinner party.
Did you have corn chips?
That's a great question.
We did have corn chips. Yeah.
There's one
Ding,
corn-
ding. Hit a
there-
ding. Do we have a ding?
don't have a day. We can.
Okay. There we go. There's the
Happy
corn.
birthday.
So the chat is kind of, it seems very torn. There's a lot of people that are concerned for Jake's safety. Like, this is crazy. You invited strangers. Then there's a lot of people saying that Jake is Hannibal Lecter. And then I think Fred the Mailman called you Jake Free Dahmer.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, listen, there are safety concerns, and I think even in our group chat, we talked about how only guys in the group chat really would feel comfortable doing that. If you're a woman, you might not feel as comfortable inviting a bunch of strangers to your home and giving out your address. And yeah, there's a hint of serial killer in there as well.
But
Especially when you invite someone, like you said, to a dinner party that's not actually a dinner party.
That's a little weird.
Exactly.
okay, but if you go back to college, right?
Yeah.
We did this all the time. The home that you lived in and slept in was full of strangers all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen, safety-wise, was it a stupid idea? Maybe not the best idea in the world. I think the thing that helps is is Napa, which is a pretty safe town. I mean, you just never know who you're going to run into. The strange thing that did happen was somebody that I invited got sent the video on Instagram, and then he DM'd me, and I clicked on his account, and it's just a bunch of feet pictures. And I was like, he didn't actually show up, but I'm like, man, I invited a dude who's like a famous foot fetish person to this party, and I had no idea.
I bet he would have had
He
would have had great stories.
Jake, what? Hold on. Were they his feet or feet that he has collected?
I think he's collected. It was his feet.
Oh my God. So
I
he's
assume it
probably
was his
loaded because if he's got all those, selling
mean-
those feet pics.
Question for you. Were they nice feet?
I mean, yeah, I'm not really a foot guy, but they look like nice feet.
You're not a foot guy, but he may have converted you if you showed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a foot guy, but, maybe if I have a second party and he comes, then we'll see.
Oh, man. Well, I really wanted to do this, but I can't. I would
Well,
die.
the other
Literally.
thing, and I want to talk about the safety for a second. Jake, you live in an apartment building, correct?
Yes.
So it's not like he's I know it's still his home. That is where Jake lives, but it's not like he lives in a standalone home
Right.
where people can just walk up to his front door. I assume there's some sort of security there.
I did say if I owned a house, I would not have done this.
It's fair.
So, and it does give you a little bit of security living in a building with, a lock. Is there a key card or something, some sort of like key fob for your door?
Say yes.
I mean, there's like a key,
Yeah.
like a normal key to get in any door.
No, so like your building itself.
No. Anybody can walk up to my front door.
Cool.
Okay,
All right.
well,
Great. You're fucked.
that's not great. Because like the apartment buildings that I've lived in, you can't just go to the front
But you
door
didn't
of
live in
someone's
quaint
apartment.
little Napa. You live in hard
I mean,
knock Seattle.
I lived in Jersey City and Hoboken and Seattle, so maybe a little more dangerous
Seattle's
than
lawless. You know this.
Napa.
Yeah, my building's not that big.
I don't know. According to the news, California has no laws. So
That's true.
there's that.
Martha wants to know, did anyone steal
Oh,
anything
yeah.
from your apartment, Jake? I would.
Not that I know of. I mean, here's the thing: is I lose things so often that if somebody would have stolen something, I would have never known.
Okay, well, noted.
That's good. Yeah, that is good to know. I do know people, like successful people, who still find it funny to steal one thing from everyone's home that they go to.
I need to start.
They'll steal like a fork. They'll steal a cup.
I'm
They'll
gonna
steal
do that.
one thing.
I was stealing magnets from my parents' refrigerator for a really long time. And then I realized, I have all these random magnets from the Bahamas that I don't need. So I'm going to steal something from Jake's apartment whenever I get there.
Oh yeah, foot pick guy.
I mean,
according
that
to according to Scotty in the chat, said foot pick guy would have stolen baby Jake's socks. Maybe that's his thing.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I don't know. The other thing is I don't really have anything of value in this apartment. Like, you can steal my TV, and that's probably the thing
Yeah.
that's worth the most here.
So let me ask you a question. So outside of the security issues that some people feel about this, are you happy that you did it? And what do you think your final kind of consensus or conclusion on the event was?
Okay, so to answer your question, yes, I'm very happy I did it, because in the video you see me approach this one woman, and before I can even really get out what we're doing, she says, "Yes, I'll be there."
Oh wow!
And it's this girl Paula, and she's from Spain, and she's only here for a year. And she was like, "Yeah, I need new friends." And she came and she talked to everybody, and my group of friends has hung out with her 3 times since the party.
What?
That's
The
awesome.
chills.
That is really cool. And
So-
you said she's from Spain?
Yeah, so she's only going to be here for a little bit longer, but she was a lot of fun, and I was amazed at how quickly she said yes, and so we hang out with her now, and now we have a bunch of new friends. It's
That's
kind of
cool.
wild.
That is really cool. And even if you find one friend, even if it's not a great friend, a casual friend that you have overseas or anywhere, I think the experiment was a success.
Yeah.
You made one legitimate connection out of
And-
this whole thing.
Nobody died.
And so far,
Nobody died.
nobody died.
That's true. And the thing is, it gave me a really, really good idea for my next video, and I cannot wait to share that with you guys.
So we can't know anything about it.
It's going to involve, I guess no. I'll just save it.
Okay.
No, that's great. You know what, Jake? I know putting yourself out there, especially going to talk to strangers and invite them into your home, big deal. I wouldn't suggest that just from like a legal standpoint. I wouldn't suggest it to anyone watching this video. But I am proud of you for going out on a limb, telling yourself you wanted to do something different and difficult, and actually executing it. Like,
Yeah.
I am very proud of you.
Thank you. Yeah, I guess I should have that caveat that I would not recommend anyone do this as well.
That's fair.
Yeah, because then someone's going to watch you, then they're going to get killed, and
And
then
it's
someone's going to be like, oh, I did it because of
Yeah.
Jake.
Yeah, I'm good. I don't want to be responsible for that.
No.
So kids, don't try this at home, as they say.
Do not.
I need to say
And
this.
hide your valuables.
I say this every time we talk to him, but Jake's laugh is my favorite laugh out of anyone that I know. And a lot of times it's because he just starts laughing in the middle of a sentence and he can't finish talking, and it's so contagious.
I hate my laugh, so I like that. Thanks.
Oh. No,
Well-
really, it's my favorite of all time.
It is weird. Hearing yourself laugh is weird.
Yeah, it is.
You're like, why do you sound so silly? Like that. I
It's worse
think
than hearing yourself talk.
I think the same thing.
I don't know.
Jake, we love you. One more time, where can people follow you?
At Jake the producer everywhere.
Okay, Jake. We love you, baby Jake.
Peace out.
Love you.
Bye. That
Probably
guy.
should have said you look great.
Oh, whatever. So Miranda messaged and said, "My family's always telling me to invite my neighbors over. I'm so shy."
Neighbors, especially if you know they live there and you have a little bit of information on them, it's, I feel like, safer at least.
No, but she said she's shy. She doesn't
Yeah.
say, "I feel like I'm gonna be murdered." And the problem is that if things are like awkward and maybe it doesn't go well, you're gonna see them all the time. That's the problem with neighbors.
Well, okay, so let's say worst case scenario.
Uh-huh.
You have 2 sets of neighbors over for a barbecue. Okay, middle of the day. It's not a nighttime thing. Very casual. What is the worst case scenario for you? In reality,
You don't agree on things and you get into an argument.
like what?
Smortion.
But okay, so but let me ask you this then. Serious question,
Yeah.
because that is a dividing
That was
issue.
the first thing that popped into my head.
That is a very divisive issue, and it's an important issue to a lot of people.
Okay.
Is that the first issue you're going to bring up with a stranger?
No.
Exactly.
No.
I
Oh,
think
what if they think that climate change is fake?
But again, is that a conversation that you're having with strangers that you invite? Like, I don't know if the discussion or the conversation would get that far
Yeah.
in your first meeting or your first sit down. I don't know why it would. And I think you could feel each other out to be like, I know that I would hang out with that person again. I know that I wouldn't hang out with that person again. And I feel like 90% of those situations would go reasonably well.
Yeah.
Yeah, is there a 10% chance, maybe a 15, 20% chance that they're raging lunatics?
So
Maybe.
So what I was going to say is that, so my neighbor, who's also my friend now, Olivia, and I, we talked, we like obviously met each other and we chatted over text and then Instagram for like a year. Obviously we saw each other. We lived a door away from each other. It took a whole year essentially for us to hang out in real life, and we didn't do it at either of our homes. We did it. We went to a bar that that opened up in our neighborhood, and I think maybe I saw her post about it. I was like, "Oh my god, I've been meaning to go there. We should totally go." And I think going to a space that is neither person's first kind of makes things easier.
Yeah.
Especially because going to someone's home is like generally awkward. And yesterday I went to Olivia's house. We sat there. We did something on our computers together for work, and it's weird because we have townhomes. And I was like, by the way, I'm bugging out being here because it's like mine, but different.
Yeah.
And she's going to come over one day to see what ours looks like. And I think, but that step of going to someone's home into their personal space, especially because so many of us are home all the time, is a big step. Going to somewhere that's a neutral location first, I think is something that Miranda can try with her neighbors.
Yeah. And there's a good point that my brother brings up in the chat. He said 2 points. One, where'd it go? People can disagree and still be friendly.
Yes.
That doesn't mean you have to be best friends. You can still be friendly. And if you're, I don't know about if I agree with this one. He said, if your neighbors, you likely are of similar minds.
I don't know.
I don't know if that's the case. I feel like you can have very different opinions than a neighbor,
I guess it all,
especially in a city.
well, Olivia and I definitely share the exact same opinions on everything. I can say that.
Okay.
But like when I go back home to the town I grew up in, I see a lot of flags I don't agree with.
So like there's a pair that lives next door. I don't know if they're married or dating or whatever. They live one house over from us. And I've talked to the guy once or twice. He seems cool. And there are times where I'm like, yo, do you want to grab a drink
I know.
at some point? Like you seem normal-ish.
Well, maybe you can come hang out with me and Olivia.
I mean, yeah, I could.
There's the other couple that I think is our age, but they have 2 kids, and I'm like, I can't.
Where on this street?
Yeah.
I don't know.
What do you mean? They literally park in front of the house every day.
I
Did
don't know.
Dad talk to you about snowboarding?
Oh, they live here? I just saw some guy walking around. I don't know. People walk.
That man is literally in front of our house every day
I
with
don't-
his screaming children.
I don't really look.
Okay.
Let's see. Miss Idol. I don't know how to pronounce that, but
I
thank
think
you very
it's-
much for the subscription at tier 1.
It's either, I think it's M. Seedle
Oh, maybe.
or I think it's Melissa. I think.
Are you sure about that?
Miranda, here's my trick. This is what you do. If you text your neighbors, you can be like, so weird. I was watching the show on Twitch and they were talking about how hanging out with your neighbors is like fun or whatever. We should totally get a drink together sometime.
You could do that.
Use us as the excuse.
And I know Realtor Jen is thinking about doing something similar. She said she's going to ask her husband if he would be down. And
So wait, explain what you're talking about. Because I was talking about going out in public.
and doing what Jake did.
Yes.
And inviting people over or having some sort of event. Jen, let us know if it happens. That'd be really cool. Let's see. Jen also said, I think being friendly is fine with a neighbor, but if you make good friends, then you never feel like you have privacy ever again. Oh, that's true. You feel pressure to always hang out. I made that mistake before.
That's fair.
I can see how if people don't respect boundaries, that could be a thing. Like if it's Friends or Seinfeld where your neighbors just walk into your home, maybe that's not what you want,
Right.
right?
I don't think we'd have that at this point.
Yeah.
But like Olivia and I, we're the neighborhood watch. And if there's a single sound or something that either of us sees outside, we're like, did you see this? Like there was a creepy van parked out front the other day. And she was texting me and I was like, I see it. I spot it. I got the license plate. We're good.
So
Like-
it is funny how things change though, because I lived in apartment buildings for a while before I moved in here with Carla Marie. And I think you get to a point when you move out of your home neighborhood where people can just like walk in and out of your home. You know, like my friends growing up could just show up if they wanted to. That would have been totally normal. Once you move into a city or you move away, people showing up to your home somehow becomes really weird. And when I was back in New Jersey, I was at my parents' house by myself, and I thought I heard someone on our front porch. I was like, that's weird. We don't really have next door neighbors.
Right.
We live between a fire department and a deli, and there's like no one really by us. And then I heard a knock, and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to see who's here. Whoever is here is not here for me.
You don't know that.
Yeah,
Maybe they thought.
I do know that. No one there was there for me. Turns out it was just a delivery from Costco because Costco does home deliveries now, at least in New Jersey. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. There's a fee, obviously, so you're paying a little more than you would pay if you went there, but
That's great.
you're not buying a 400 pack of Cliff Bars when you don't need them. Like a spontaneous purchase.
Oh, gotcha. Costco is on Instacart in New Jersey. Damn.
There you go.
Have you ever seen it's a comedian who does the video of how each generation reacts to the doorbell ringing?
I have not.
It's so funny. Because it's like boomers are like, oh, get out the coffee, the tea, who's here? And then it's like, I don't know, I forget what it does for, who's the next one? Who's above us? Gen X.
Y.
And
X.
And then millennials, it's like,
Yeah.
and you hide. And yes, like when the doorbell rings, he's always like, who is it? I'm like, I don't know. I can't go by the window to look. They'll see me.
True.
And our doorbell camera's been broken for a whole year now.
And most of the people that are ringing our doorbell are either delivery people, which is great, or they're trying to like buy the house or it's weird. They're like, oh, we have an open house 4 doors down. I'm like, I live here.
Yeah.
I don't need to go to your open house. Alicia from the 215. I dated someone whose neighbors just walked in on each other's houses. Neighborhood dogs would randomly show up and follow another into the house. On one hand, I liked that tight-knit community, but if I actually lived there, I would feel I didn't have any privacy.
Yeah.
And there was occasionally drama if 3 houses hung out and didn't invite other. That you could get into that kind of drama if everyone's friendly.
I feel like cul-de-sacs. There's a whole, like, there should be a Netflix series about cul-de-sacs in America. And
like not Real Housewives of New Jersey, like
just
real
cul-de-sacs.
real households of Issaquah.
No. I just want specific cul-de-sacs. Like, not in one city. Just one from, like, this city, one from that city. And it's almost like a live PD, but we go in live to see what the drama is happening in those cul-de-sacs. Mainly in the summer, because, everyone's outside. They bring their chairs out front. Our friends Nicole and Sean, their street, they teamed up with their neighbors this year and did Christmas lights together, where they strung lights from across the street, from house to house. They had a meeting in the street to discuss this in San Diego.
It is pretty impressive.
And what also starts happening, I'm not saying they did this, in these cul-de-sacs, swingers.
I mean, I don't think swingers are confined to the end of a street, though. I think even through streets.
I think you mainly find
in cul-de-sacs.
Swingers in cul-de-sacs.
It's an interesting theory. I don't know whether it's the end of a street or the middle of a street makes a difference, but who knows?
Ooh, Jordan in Puyallup. She said, the area my brother lives is full of petty drama. Give it to us.
You know what happens, though? And I feel like we all see this with our parents at some point in our lives. You move to the suburbs. You have your family if you choose to. Then, or like you're in the middle of the hustle and bustle of your career, things are normal. Then you get to a point where you either retire, maybe your kids move out, maybe work gets simple enough where you show up, you do the thing, and you go home. You don't have to like do a lot of politicking at your job.
Mm-hmm.
And life slows down.
Yep.
And when that happens, for some reason, people fill that void with things that are so meaningless. Do you see what this person posted on Facebook? They didn't tag me in a picture with all of our friends. And it's always older people who, like I said, their life slowed down significantly within the last 5 years.
Like, why didn't you care about this 5 years ago?
Because they had kids living at home. They had something going on.
I guess my dad kind of always had this in him, but retiring definitely caused the rise of this.
Mm-hmm.
He is, as I call him, the parking Nazi. I grew up on a street with ample parking. Not here. Ample parking in New Jersey. We have a driveway that could probably fit 3 cars, and my parents only have 2 at this point.
Okay.
So when I'm visiting my parents and I'm borrowing my mom's car, I'll either get a text or a phone call. When are you coming home? I don't know, this time, whatever. Okay, well, if there's a spot in the front, park there because it's street cleaning. I'm like, okay.
Okay.
I pull up. Sometimes I'll park in front of our neighbor's house. And my dad will be like, don't do that. Don't do that to them. And I'm like, what? He's like, don't park in front of their house. Move the car. And I'm like,
To where?
The driveway. I'm like, but they don't own that spot. Like, could you imagine saying that in Seattle?
Not in a city, you can't do
Yeah,
that.
don't park in front of my house.
Yeah.
That'd be great. But that's not how this works.
That's not, because everyone parks wherever they can in Seattle, and I've parked like 4 blocks away.
Yeah. And my niece was over. And I was so glad someone else witnessed this. He was like, at the window, like an old man. And he goes, oh, somebody left. Quick, get the keys. And he goes running. And my niece is looking at me. I go, no one is moving a car. No one's moving. He's like, what? And then someone came and took the spot. And I was like, see what would have happened?
So
I
did he want to move the car out
of the driveway to take a spot in the front.
so that no one else could park in front of the house?
It is. And I was like, sir, you have hobbies. I don't understand
That
why
seems
this is
to be
something-
his hobby.
And then my mom will message things like if someone in the street goes in an ambulance, oh, the neighbors in this house went in an ambulance.
Ambulance. Okay, the ambulance thing I can understand. Oh, we got a call from, I think this might be Hale G. Let's see.
Jordan.
Oh, Jordan.
There's 2, I think.
Hello. Who's this?
No, wait.
Hale Geen.
It is.
Oh.
It is. Jordan was called.
Wait, did you say Geen?
Yeah,
We've been saying Gene this whole time.
I know, but I can't. Yeah, it's good.
So Hale Geen
Dude!
in the chat. Wow. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Okay. So what do I
Geen.
saw your message in the chat, but explain to everyone, because we were talking, Carla Marie has this theory that cul-de-sacs are full of swingers.
Yeah.
And
Not wrong.
you might have proof, so explain.
So my in-laws are swingers. They've been swingers. They're not like active anymore, but they were swingers for quite a long time as my husband was growing up.
So let me ask, how do you know they're not active? Did they tell you like, oh, we used to do this and now we don't?
His mother is in like one of the motorized scooters. She doesn't have a lot of mobility, so that's not really on the table for her anymore.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, so where did they start? How did they start swinging?
How did they start swinging, honey?
So we lived in a cul-de-sac in Maryland, and we just thought neighbors were really good friends as when I was a kid, because I would watch everything for them. And come to find out, they were really good friends.
Like really, really good friends, like special friends.
Very special friends.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And this all started on a cul-de-sac.
On a cul-de-sac on an
Okay.
army base.
Wow.
Well-
Okay. See, I'm so far. I've been proven right.
You're 1 for 1, Carla Marie.
Wow. Okay. So
Wait, when did your husband
Yeah.
figure out that the friends, quote unquote, coming over they were all like doing it?
Because one of them, he has 3 siblings, and I think one of them went in there to get something out of the bedroom one day, and the friend was like naked in the bed, and yeah, that's
We also found the Adult Friend Finder account when I went to go do some like homework on the computer. It was Adult Friend Finder.
Oh my God.
So then, like, as a kid, are you like, oh, this is normal, or do you think it's weird?
Well, so I didn't find out until I was probably about 16, and by then I kind of knew about it already.
Okay,
So it
you had a
seemed normal at the
feeling.
time. Yep.
This is just. This is.
Now,
I
did
can't.
did any of the people that were partying with your parents, did they have kids your age?
Not my age, so they were always younger, and we would babysit while they would go out. So I watched a pair of twins grow up for like 15 years, thinking
wow.
they were just real good friends.
But your parents and the twins' parents were most likely doing some things.
Oh yeah. When I asked Mom one day when she came home with a hotel key card why she needed a hotel key card to go get coffee or whatever with the friend.
Oh
Now, have they ever admitted it straight on, like, and said, "Hey, this is like our lifestyle"?
Oh, yeah.
No,
Yep.
no, we all know. Everyone knows they were not. I mean, we've been married for 9 years almost, and it was one of the first things I found out about them.
Are they like, you guys should try it?
Yeah.
What do they say?
No, they've suggested things, and it was way too awkward, so I just pretended like I didn't hear it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think anyone wants that kind of advice from their parents or their in-laws, like on what they should do in their private time.
Not at all. And we go to Key West a lot, and they have like a fantasy fest.
That was the other reason. I couldn't never figure out why we always went to Key West the same time of year, and come to find out it was for Fantasy Fest.
What is Fantasy Fest?
Down there for the community.
What is it?
Fantasy Fest. It's like a week-long party for LGBTQ and BDSM friendly people.
All right.
We're gonna have to look this up.
I mean, that I did not know that even existed, and I've heard a lot of stories from a lot of different communities. Didn't even know Fantasy Fest was a thing in Key West.
A question for Mr.
And so
Helgene.
growing up as a kid, we went down there, and that's why it was normal to me, because I'm 8, 9, 10, 11 years old going down there every year, and that's just what I grew up around.
I mean,
And I go down there as a 29-year-old, and they're like, "Let's go to this adult store," and I was like, "What? No, what?
oh,
I mean, how do you know about that?"
that's
I don't need suggestions, thank you.
yeah. You got thrown into quite the situation there. I do have a question though. Are we sure that these twins are not his actual siblings?
That's a good question.
The only reason why we know my husband is actually like his parents are his parents because he looks exactly like his father.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. You know.
Well, listen, Helgene, not Gene. Thank you very much for hanging out with us and hitting us up. We appreciate you.
And thank you for your
Thank you so
service
much.
to your husband. Wait, did your husband military or his family?
I'm military as well. I just
Well-
got out after 12 years.
Well,
Oh,
thank
cool.
you for your
Thank you.
service.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, guys. We'll see you in the chat.
Bye.
Bye.
look
You look
great.
great. Oh shoot! I hung up on her.
It's okay.
Hail.
Well, you waited too long to say you look great.
I know. Hail Geen.
Huh?
After all these years.
Learn something new every day. You know, this actually happens, and you're going to make fun of me for saying this. This happens with Pokemon a lot.
Okay.
And I'm going to explain why. So, unless you watch the anime. Oh, hold
I told
on.
Jordan to call after. Oh, that's not Jordan.
Hello, hello. Hello.
Hello, this is Rain from Washington.
Rain, how's it
what's
going?
up?
Hey, I was just calling because I need to know exactly what happened with the OfferUp purchase.
Oh,
Thank
you.
goodness.
Well, do you want to wait on the phone while we explain the story, or should we let you go?
Yeah, I can wait on the phone.
Okay. And then next week, I think, Rain, we're going to have you call back and we're going to ask you a bunch of questions about being in high school.
Of course, that
Okay.
sounds awesome.
Okay.
So I'm glad you brought that up. So if you were here on the show on Tuesday, you can go back and watch it on YouTube if you want. I explained how I found out that after a bunch of OfferUp discussions I was having for different pieces of equipment we need for the show, I found out that I was most likely talking to a child for one piece of equipment. And actually, can you grab that box, Carla Marie? So it was for this, which is how we plug our camera into our computer now. And I was a little skeptical because I was like, I don't want to be the guy, the older dude who's going and meeting up with like kids on OfferUp and giving them money for different things.
And by the way, I have no idea what happened. All I know is after I didn't go with Anthony.
Yeah.
He texted me and said, I can't wait to explain this transaction.
So I go all the way up to Bothell, which is, I don't know, 25 minutes north of Seattle. And I'm driving, and it's taking me on all these tiny winding roads up through Bothell, like up hills, down into whatever. Finally get to this house, and I look over, and there's two houses I couldn't tell which street number they were. One was kind of like a very old house, kind of run down. I was like, that person's going to kill me if that's the house. The next was a much newer house with fencing and security and everything. I was really hoping it was that one. So it turns out it was. And I start messaging this child again. And I'm like, hey, I'm here. I'm outside of whatever the house was. So, okay, come to the fence.
You just throw it over.
So I said, okay. Now I'm walking over, and it's like an electric gate, and I'm thinking to myself, if they open the gate,
Do I go in?
that's less awkward because now I can like walk up, but then they can close the gate behind me and murder me. So I'm waiting there for probably like 5-6 minutes. Finally, I see the door open, and sure enough, I mean, he's probably a high school kid, but he was like a very small high school kid.
That's normal.
Like he kind of looked like me in my freshman year.
Okay.
He walks up and he hands me this thing through the gate. So now I'm counting money.
Well, why
Like-
didn't you have it ready?
Well, I'm counting it in front of him so he knows
Oh.
I'm giving him the right amount. So I'm counting like a couple 20s, and there's cars passing by. And now it's this old dude. I'm wearing my gray hoodie, so
Who's
it's like
you're the old
I'm
dude.
the old dude in this situation. And this high school kid, and there's a transaction through a fence. And it's just like everything about it looked really, really sketchy. But I will say, now that it's all said and done, I'm glad that it happened through the fence.
Well, yeah, because if you're a parent letting your kid sell something, you're probably like, you're not opening the fence because
Yeah.
then they can take you and scoop you and throw you in their car.
Yeah.
So I think this kid is smart.
It all worked out. Like I said, when it was all said and done, it all worked out perfectly.
Maybe he's
I got what I needed. He got some money.
maybe he's like Jeff Bezos' son, hiding behind the fence.
I'm going to assume
Okay.
it was a very nice house.
Yeah.
But I'm going to assume that Bezos lives in a much
Okay.
larger house.
Okay. So Rain, you're still on the phone. What was it like listening to
Yeah.
that on the phone first on Twitch?
That was hilarious. And you guys sound a little bit different. I was surprised.
Well, yeah, I think we actually sound more like our actual voices on Twitch than we do
On the
using
phone.
this phone service from
That's
Google.
right.
But
Yeah.
who knows?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Well,
I can say,
sorry. Go ahead.
from being in high school, I see like adults and I just see them as normal. I see them as like, oh, we're just talking to each other. But how adults see high schoolers is so different from us. So
Yeah.
it's actually, it's really cool to see you guys' perspective on that.
That's cool. I think a lot of it is because we know now that how we've grown up and we're so different as an adult than
Oh,
you were
yeah.
in high school. So it's like
Yeah.
you can't possibly think of us as the same because we were so completely different when we were in high school.
Yeah.
But I completely understand your perspective as well, except I just thought everyone was old AF. When I was
Yeah,
in high
anyone
school.
who was out of high school to me was just
so old.
Even if you were in college and
You
I was
were
a senior in
old.
high school, you were just old. But,
Yeah, that's hilarious, guys.
well, Rain, thank you very much for hitting us up and reminding me to tell
Yeah.
the end of that story.
Of course. You guys look great.
You
look
look
great.
great. Aw.
That was great.
That was great.
I
Producer
compl-
Rain.
I completely forgot
I love
that
it.
even happened.
I love it. Sorry, now I wasn't reading the chat. I'm just trying to catch up.
I did have 2 pickups that day.
Uh-huh.
Both of them went pretty well. Can't complain. The first,
Man, we are all over the place today.
Jordan.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Good
We're
morning.
great.
How you doing?
Doing well. Sorry, I had to step away from my desk to give you guys a call.
All
Oh.
good. So what were you calling about originally? Because you tried calling like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, it was about the neighborhood drama.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Your
s-
brother lives. So you live in Puyallup, Washington. Can you tell us where your brother lives?
He lives in Ording, which is about
Oh.
20 minutes from me. So
Okay.
at the bottom of Mount Rainier, basically.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So there's drama at the base of the mountain. That's
So yeah,
my new show.
what's the deal?
Okay, so I'm going to try and just get the bulletins because there's so much and we could be on for like an hour.
Okay.
I love that.
So it kind of started a couple years ago, Mother's Day. My brother's neighbor, Greg, let's just call him Greg, wanted to go golfing with my brother on Mother's Day. And he said, no, sorry, I'm going to spend the day with my wife and then go see my mom.
Makes sense.
And he flipped out. And he also has a wife and kids. And he's like, no, bro, we got to get out of here. We got to go golf and whatever. He's like, no, I'm good. And then probably a month after that, he was just nasty to them and just rude and would even start spreading rumors in the neighborhood about my brother and his wife, Heather.
What?
Like what kind of rumors and how did you know that he was the one starting them?
Because the neighbor directly across from my brother, they ended up moving, but him and my brother actually went to high school together, and he told my brothers, like, dude, Greg is just going off. What happened? He goes, I
Fucking
just
Greg.
didn't go golfing with him on Mother's Day.
And that was it. That was like the
And
end of their friendship.
well, no,
Oh.
because then my brother ended up not befriending him, but like, I have to be friendly because he lives 2 houses from me,
Yeah.
and I'm not going to be that person. So they didn't really mend it, but they started hanging out again. And then 4th of July weekend, my brother was like, oh, I'm going to throw a barbecue. How about everyone come over? So my family and my parents and I came over, and we got to meet Greg finally. And Greg was just drunk. And he has 4 kids, ranging from 15 to 7. And no control over the kids running everywhere. One of his youngest was bullying my niece, and that's when I was like,
Yeah, no.
what?
No.
That's not okay.
Yeah.
So that's kind of there. And then wrapping up Greg and his family, he ended up like having a drinking problem, and his wife called the cops. And my brother took him in the house for the night instead of letting him not rot, but sit in a jail cell overnight.
Oh my God.
Jeez. So Greg, first off, seems like he's got some problems.
Clearly had some internal issues he was battling.
But is Greg the worst of the drama?
No, we started there because there's a connection. So then new neighbors moved in. My brother and Heather befriended them and started working out together, and like just kind of healthy path. Greg got jealous. So then Greg told his kid to start bullying their kid.
Shut up.
Like, actually, it was an actual directive from the father to the kid to be a bully.
Yes.
How do you know?
And the reason
Oh God.
know that because his daughter doesn't keep secrets and just tells everyone. And my niece Sophie is 7, and then the twins Aaron and Ayla, my nieces as well, they're 12. So they're a little bit more like, she was saying this on the bus to everyone and was proud of it. The neighbor that she was supposed to bully, well, she put her in her spot, and a bully got bullied. So
Okay, that's always
that was great.
That's always necessary at some point.
Exactly. And then now it's to the point where now there's a third neighbor. Her name is Tori. Let's go with Tori.
Okay.
And she's now just whenever there's cars in front of my brother's house, she sends her daughter over to see what's going on. And Sophie is such a social butterfly and was like, yeah, come in, let's play. And she goes, no, my mommy sent me over here. I'm supposed to spy.
Kids suck.
Wait, so if someone's sitting in the car, she sends her daughter to go see what's going on.
No, like if
Yes,
someone's parked and hanging out at the house too.
Yeah.
Why sitting in the car
Yes.
though?
Yes, and I think it was Labor Day weekend. Once again, we went over to my brother's house for a barbecue, just a few of us, nothing crazy. And then Sophie comes in the house and is like, Mom, Dad, you need to go outside. Why? What's going on? Tori's out and she wants to talk to you guys. And we're like, uh-oh. So now I'm at the window like, okay, what's going on? What's going on? And apparently she just got up in arms. My brother, I can't believe he kept his cool the whole time. But he's like, why are you acting like this? This is my family over.
Yeah.
Well, you can invite everyone in the neighborhood, but not us. And you're refusing my daughter entry into your house. Wow, that's rude.
I can't.
And oh my gosh. And it's just all this little stuff. And then they start saying things to the kids. That's where I have a problem.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This seems like kind of what I was talking about before. When there isn't something to work on, if there isn't something constructive to work on and worry about, people will find reasons for drama because they need that type of action in their lives, and they're not getting it anywhere else, so they just start making it up.
This is what scares me about life in the suburbs.
Yeah.
Like when I'm like, oh, you know what? I could use more space. And I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do suburbs.
I'll
I
tell
like
you
the
what,
hustle and bustle.
When I was driving through Bothell yesterday and I saw houses with actual property, I was like, I could probably move here.
Yeah, and then you got Tori knocking on your door yelling at you.
I just want to answer my door.
Yes.
Jordan, thank you so much. Tell your brother good luck with all his neighborhood drama. Is he still living there in the same spot?
Oh yeah, he's still there, and I'm like, partially I don't want to hear it, but other times I'm like, oh, I have nothing going on. What drama's happening?
Yeah, that's great. Yeah,
Well,
let us know.
We appreciate you. You look great.
You look great. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Yeah, the drama in the burbs seems legit. Well, actually, no, I take it back. Seems completely illegitimate in terms of being real drama, but it seems like a legitimate problem for a lot of people out there.
I can't.
And then It's Me Meech says, this is exactly why I won't befriend my neighbors. I'll be kind, but my home is my safe space.
Yeah.
No time for that.
Yeah, that is the part that, like, once you don't feel safe or comfortable at home, then you have to move.
But I mean, I can see that. Not that moving is easy, but I can see that. But I think that's up to everyone to set and respect boundaries as well.
I mean, we had that guy that was psycho who used to live next door.
Oh, there was one argument. Yeah.
He was mean.
He
He was rude.
seemed
And I remember
not like a great person.
before that, when I was moving in, they were like, I don't remember, but it was a very awkward confrontation because real estate agents were still showing a bunch of the units available here. And I had officially purchased this one. And my real estate agent and I were walking, and I think she they were like, she asked a question about, do you want to see a home? And they were like, no, we live here. We're just being nosy. And she said, like, this is your new neighbor or something. And they were like, okay, and walked away. And I was like, oh, you're mad that someone knocked down a home and built 5 townhomes. I get it, but I didn't do that.
Well, no, I don't think that was it. I think they were just not kind people because they lived in a home that they were renting.
Yeah.
And they built townhomes in the backyard of that home. So I don't think that person. I don't think they were someone who's lived here forever and was like, oh, there's so many people moving in and I hate it.
They don't have to worry about parking.
That's one of the reasons that I would move to the burbs right now. Give me a driveway.
I'd rather have to find parking than deal with Tori.
How many, you know what? Let's do a quick poll. And you can just do it with the text, but in an actual poll. But do you live in a city or do you live in a suburb? Or maybe you're super rural. You can let us know that too. Just type in what it is, what category you fall under.
I think we're going to have more.
Oh, I think we're definitely going to have more burbs.
I live in one stoplight town. Burbs, city, burbs.
This is like the Burger King commercial. You can just read all the comments.
Burbs, small city, suburbs, the boonies.
Ooh, who's in the boonies?
Angela.
Because I feel like that's where you get the real drama. The further you go out, the wilder people get. Like a lot of our Dirty Little Secrets, they were coming from some pretty rural-ass places.
It's Carly, right? Rural, next door neighbor is a mile away.
That's kind of beautiful. So my college girlfriend lived all the way out in like Western Jersey. And that was the first time really that I like had someone close to me that did not live at least in a pretty congested New Jersey suburb. And New Jersey suburbs are a little different just because New Jersey is so congested.
Yeah.
When you go out to Western Jersey, though, and you get right on that Pennsylvania border, you actually do have space. And their next door neighbor was like half a mile away. It was the weirdest
weird.
thing.
Mel Paulin said Amish neighbors with horses and buggies. So
nice.
My ex-boyfriend in Lancaster, PA, his family's house, if you looked out through their backyard, I would see the Amish farm. And their cows would come up to the fence sometimes.
My college girlfriend also had a cow that was loose on her property. The first time I visited. I didn't know where the house was because everything was so set so far back. And at the time, I had my Jeep Wrangler and the back window was out, like unzipped. And I was stopped in the middle of the street because there's no one else around. And I'm looking out to see like where I could find a house number sign. And all of a sudden I was like, what the hell is that smell? And then I literally heard a moo and there was a cow looking in my back window. It just got off the person's property across the street.
It's me, Meech. I'm going to Jersey this weekend. Can't wait to see the gem of a state you're all from. You won't find cows wandering, most likely where you're visiting, but
not in like the Northeast.
In regular New Jersey.
Or Atlantic City.
Amanda said, you had a boyfriend in my town? So cool. His family doesn't live there anymore, but it was Strawberry Lane.
The town?
The street in Lancaster, PA.
Oh, it was in Lancaster.
Yeah.
Lancaster.
Okay.
Well, we are out of here for the day. Taking a mental break from trying to prepare cameras and things on the screen. I did notice that some people were using the emote customization on the screen. So thank you for doing that. I'm going to still try to fix it a little bit so they're not overlapping with one another.
I saw Wise and Shine say something in here about neighbors, and I think that next week we need to do a whole segment about living in the suburbs of Florida.
That'll be a whole different thing. And I completely forgot we didn't talk about the Super Bowl at all, but what are we doing for the Super Bowl?
Rooting against the Eagles.
I don't know if I'm doing that.
Sorry. You
What?
can't be here in my home.
Okay.
Sorry, I know we have a lot of Philly people in here, but I hate the Eagles.
I've always hated the Eagles, and I dislike teams from Philadelphia, but I do really like three players specifically on the Eagles. I love their quarterback, Jalen Hurts. I love the other Kelsey brother. Was it Jason Kelsey, right?
Yeah, but Travis is better.
Travis is better. Jason's funny, though. Is it Jason?
They have a
Am I getting the name right?
They have a podcast together. I think so. Wait, is it official that the mom is flipping the coin? That was something they wanted to do.
I have no idea. And then the wide receiver from Alabama, whose name is escaping me right now.
On the Eagles?
On the Eagles.
Brian Baumgartner.
Is that from Rookie of the Year?
It's the actor of Kevin in The Office.
Well, no, isn't. Who's the Baumgartner? Oh, whatever. Why? No one's helping me out with a name here.
You're thinking
Henry
of
Rowan Gardner. Yes. And does anyone know the wide receiver that I'm thinking of?
Smith? We haven't decided what we're eating on Sunday yet. We're going to have to do wings. Have to. But then
I'm just going to order a pizza from Papa John's.
No, we're not doing that.
Devontae Smith. Yes. Thank you. Just a great personality. It's a lot of fun. Every time they have him mic'd up, he just genuinely seems like a nice person.
I'm rooting for the Chiefs because the owner's daughter kills me. You follow her on Instagram?
No.
She is like all in, go Chiefs, posing in Chiefs bikinis.
Is she
Great.
really?
I love it. It makes my day.
And as a Raiders fan, the Chiefs have been a pain in my ass for a couple of years.
Your brother's a
But if the
Chiefs
Chiefs
fan.
win, my brother will be happy. So, you know what? All things considered, I actually don't care who wins. I just want my football boxes to win.
You would think I'd be like, oh, it's another bird. Seahawks, Eagles, nope.
Well, if you're from Jersey, North Jersey specifically, normally you don't really like teams from Philly.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, whoever wins is not going to change my day one bit.
No,
So
it won't.
if I would say I'm rooting
Yeah, Rihanna.
52% for the Eagles and 48% for the Chiefs.
Mahomes and his voice.
I am actually looking forward to Rihanna's halftime show as well.
Mhm.
We will recap all the Super Bowl things Monday morning. Be here as you hopefully call out of work for after a Super Bowl party or whatever. I don't know why Martha's telling me ew.
Because she's rooting for the Chiefs.
I said 48% for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
It's right there. Thank you for hanging out with us. We will see you on a Monday morning.
Peace
Carla
out,
Marie?
Cub Scouts.